So, ladies and gentlemen, before the Trailer Park Boys, there was one Canadian icon or Quebecois icon that we all looked up to. He wanted to be Elvis, he wanted to be himself, and he wanted to be a proud Quebecois. And Julien Poulin, who played him, passed away in recent days, and boys, we're going to miss him. So today we're going to be talking about the legacy of the legendary Bob Elvis Gratton. Now, this was a fictional character, a subject of multiple films and a TV series of the same name by Quebec the director Pierre Falardeau. A series of short films, Elvis Gratton in 81, Les Vacances de Elvis Gratton in 83, Pas encore Elvis Gratton in 85 was released on VHS as a single 85 film Elvis Gratton, Le King de Kings, and then two sequels, Elvis Gratton 2, Miracle Memphis in 99, and Elvis Gratton 3, La Vengeance de Elvis Wong. Most recently, a TV series entitled Bob Gratton, My Vie, My Life began on January 15, 2007, and when it lasted for 3 seasons. Now, the first film revolves around one Bob Gratton, played by Julien Poulin, who co-wrote and co-directed the films with Falardeau, and his passion for Elvis Presley. Gratton's life goal was to win fame as an Elvis impersonator, and he achieves it through a local TV talent show contest, whose prize is a cruise to the fictional island resort of Santa Banana. After his return from Santa Banana, Gratton was called on to don his Elvis costume one more time, but because he has gained weight in the interim, he has trouble fitting into it and collapses on stage during performance, seemingly dead. In the film's final scene, just as Gratton's casket is taken for interment, Bob emerges from it quite alive. The second film revolves on Gratton's later adventures after being discovered by a talent scout and his rise to fame as a pop music star. The third installment sees Gratton become the head of a media company and play an active role in manipulating the news that his media empire puts out. In the 80s, Falardeau and Poulin were very clear as to the goal of the early short films, which constitute the first installment of Elvis Gratton. The intent was to portray via parody Falardeau and Poulin's view of the mindset that they believe had driven the majority of Quebecois to vote for the no side of the 80 referendum on Quebec sovereignty. Gratton was portrayed as fat and uneducated, but also conservative, pro-American, racist, and federalist. The film's comic situations are premised on Gratton's tacky character and backward-thinking views, with which Falardeau and Poulin sought to associate Quebec Federalists more generally. Years later, Falardeau would reveal that he regretted the movie's focus on slapstick comedy and the protagonist's constant comic relief, which, in his eyes, removed the underlying message of the movie and made the movie popular only for its jokes. The fact that Gratton is a local entrepreneur who employs a few workers but has other goals in life, such as becoming globally famous despite a lack of talent, and most importantly being loved by everyone, reflects Falardeau's impression of Quebec Federalists. For example, in the second movie, the character accepts all offers and signs all contracts preferred without even bothering to read them, with hopes of realizing these goals, even at a risk of personal bankruptcy. The need to be loved by others is part and parcel of Falardeau's view of Quebec Federalists. Now, Falardeau's motivation to create a second Elvis Gratton movie traces its roots back to the early 1990s when he sought financing for his February 15, 1839 film project portraying aspects of the Lower Canadian Rebellion. Since this film was about Quebec history, Falardeau has been soliciting donations for some time until it was suggested a new Elvis Gratton movie would most likely be hit and garner sufficient funds. This indeed proved fruitful, and 15 février 1839 was released in 2001. Now, Elvis Gratton also showed up remarkably unpoliticized. In 1996, in an ad campaign as the year's spokesperson for Operation Nez Rouge, Operation Red Nose, a local initiative in Quebec to provide a free driving service to take partygoers' cars back home during their holidays, along with said partygoers. Operation Nez Rouge has a history of using different humorous and characters each year to promote its activities. Now, as for the passing of Julien Poulin, he portrayed a numerous role, died at the age of 78. Now, he was active from 73 until this year. Again, the most memorable role was Gratton. In addition to Gratton films, Poulin was also played several main and supporting roles roles in other films and TV series, including The Crime of Ed Plouffe in 84, Lancé Compte in 86, The Party, great movie by the way, in 1990, Virginie in 96, Jasmine or Marlette Tout, Le Loi le Silence in 97, as well as Saint-Fin, Heart of Stone in the 2000s. Now, Poulin also portrayed Gaëtan Langlois in the award-winning show Minuit le Soir. Now, the TQS series Bob Coteau, My Vie, My Life, was on for 3 seasons. Now, his latest role was in episode 20 as Jessica's father in Radio Canada's Unit 9. Now, he was acting right up until the end. And basically, ladies and gentlemen, the whole Elvis Gratton motif was more Quebecois Acadian than anything else. Now, Trailer Park Boys has the motif like the Maritimer dope dealers and stuff like this. But the idea, ladies and gentlemen, of Elvis Gratton, either you got it or you didn't. Now, he's a character in The Party, or The Party, was considered one of the best comedies of its era. Now, this Canadian drama film, directed by Pierre Falardeau, was loosely based on the prison experience of a convicted Front de Libération de Québec terrorist François Simard, and the film centers the annual party at the St. Vincent de Paul Penitentiary in Laval, where a group of prison inmates got to enjoy outside entertainment. And like I said, this is a very underrated movie, and it's like sort of like a dramatic comedy. There's comedy aspects. Now, made over $500,000 at the Canadian box office. Now, the film received 4 Genie Award nominations and 12 Genie Awards in 91 for Best Supporting Actor, Poulin, of course, Best Screenplay by Falardeau, Best Costume Design, and Best Editing, Michel Lacan. Now, this is considered one of the top francophone movies of the 1990s. And February release to make that much money was a medium-sized hit in Quebec. So if this is the first time you're hearing about Elvis Gratton, sorry about that. If the first time you're hearing about Poulin passing away, he's going to be greatly missed. Now, just like any Trailer Park Boys story, Elvis Gratton was a man of a million stories. And what was he archetypical of the Quebec, what they call the Quebec conservatives? Like I said, Quebec's always had a fascination with the United States and their money. You look at Jacques Parizeau. But it's kind of weird about this. Did this hurt the 1980 vote leading on? Because it reflected so much of that type of culture at the time. You'll never see a comedian like Elvis Gratton ever again, and that's a shame, because just like the Trailer Park Boys, Canadians need to laugh at themselves. Like when Trump said he's going to make us part of the states. Okay, you deal with the fucking separatists, you moronic shit-faced bastard. Anyway, we'll leave it at that. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you're doing with our movie tributes, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share.